YouTube is a big place. It is one of the most used websites on the internet. According to recent analytics, over 2 billion people use it every month. That's 1/4 of the world's population. Whether you want to know about a certain topic or just want to watch something to entertain yourself, YouTube has got you covered. But due to an incredibly large influx of people who watch it every day, the tastes of all those people change over time, just like they always have throughout history. The taste of what the masses like will always change. What is always in will be out in a few years. This is what we call a fad. Fads can range from all sorts of things, from hairstyles to clothing styles to toys or random objects. Anything can be really considered a fad if you stretch the definition far enough. The one thing they all have in common, though, is despite being super popular for a period of time, which can range from just a month to a few years, the masses will eventually stop caring about it. It always happens. Whatever people have been interested in on YouTube has changed and shifted, and you can see that within the landscape. What videos people want to watch on YouTube and what gets you the most views has also changed constantly. There are indeed many areas of YouTube that include what it looked like design-wise, what the interests of the viewers were, and who was popular around that time. Of course, these didn't last forever. Consumer taste shifted to the next big thing as is expected. Some channels evolved to take into consideration what the masses were into, and others refused to let go. Some still thought they could keep making videos on the same fad that gave them the fame in the first place, and because of this, they, like the fads themselves, fade into obscurity. Eventually, these content creators would give up the ghost and just quit. They stopped making videos altogether, and so their channel would just sit there, untouched, unviewed for years, until someone like me would dig them up to show everyone. Hey kids, want to see some YouTube dinosaurs? These are the deserted husks of YouTube fad channels. Out of all the topics I'm talking about today, this one's the most wholesome. Before your Mr. Beasts and before your criticals, before everything on YouTube became about constant output and making money, in the early days, we had YouTube poops. What the fuck?
YouTube poop.
YouTube poops were a very basic form of entertainment on YouTube. All it required was some simple editing skills in a pre-existing form of media, and then you could screw with it. You could distort the video, reverse it, or add another video or piece made over it to make it funny. That's the thing about these. They were so easy to make, and anyone with any editing skills was able to make one. In fact, I could make one right now. Watch!
What a fucking barnacle head.
You see, back in the day, we didn't have access to all these long-form videos to keep us entertained for hours on end. We didn't have access to some guy who's probably on the spectrum like I am to talk about Mega Man for 8 hours. There weren't any real notable figures to keep us entertained, save for a small few.
Ass!
So individual people decided to entertain themselves and others, and used what they had. And that's what birthed YouTube poops. Now, the media they used in these were usually easy targets, the ones that were the most exploitable. There was a ton of SpongeBob YouTube poops along with the old Mario cartoon show, but this is also where the masses became aware of the Zelda and Mario CDI games and their infamous cutscenes. These characters were so strange and so quotable, you couldn't help but not warp and distort them to hell and back.
Whatever I see, I shall devour.
Got him!
The sheer amount of effort put into some of these, and how funny they could be, was commendable.
Morshu as you so song is speed.
However, when I was a kid on YouTube back in the day, I didn't watch these much. I watched a few, but not as many as I should have. I did watch another genre of video that was very similar though. Blooper videos.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you.
Blooper videos were usually some dude emulating a game with Bandicam, turning on cheats, and with a bit of editing knowledge, created something entertaining. Now, like I said, I wasn't that into YouTube poops, but dear God, I could not stop watching these blooper videos. They were the most entertaining things to me. Like jangling a set of keys in front of a toddler. There would be all these reoccurring characters and jokes, like these videos were obsessed with Scatman John. They played his music all the time in some form or another. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is how most people today know of Scatman John, these videos, and I think we can all thank them for that. oh my God, the Windows Movie Maker scrolling font, oh God. You could not get any more old school YouTube than this. I am staring at an old, crusty fossil right now. Looking at these videos today, they're not much. They're nothing special, but you have to remember, these videos weren't made by people with art degrees and wanting to throw away on set designs of the most cutting-edge video software. These weren't made to make money or to put yourself into the mainstream and become a well-known figure for fame. These were made for fun and nothing else. And they have to be admired for that. They are a fossil of the old days of YouTube before it became so corporatized and everything has to be about money. So, why did these fall out of favor? Well, I'd have to guess two reasons. The first one being more and more figures like Smosh and Fred. Oh God, please! No! They started becoming well-known figures who'd become trusted enough to put out good content, basically becoming the first e-celebs on YouTube and getting an actual following. That slowly started becoming the norm compared to some teenager with some knowledge of Windows Movie Maker and some semblance of humor. Because anyone can make a YouTube poop and blooper video, you'd get a bunch that varied in quality. One could be the funniest shit you've ever seen, or you'd find one that was a complete waste of time. And the second reason why is this is when corporations started taking notice of YouTube and realized what this website could be used for. This was around the time when Viacom tossed a huge lawsuit at YouTube, suing them for millions of dollars because people were uploading clips of their shows without their permission on there. This, of course, including YouTube poops, which were filled with clips from their shows. And so, YouTube started cracking down on these. Infuriating as it is, this is a huge factor into why they fell out of favor. And so with the combined effort of these two factors, most of these poop and blooper channels just stopped uploading content. They sit here for years, over a decade even, with these extremely old videos in the backlog, and nothing new ever gets uploaded. But hey, even though they haven't been in favor for a long time, their legacy still lingers on. YouTube poops still get made for the people who still find them entertaining, and so they probably never will fully go away. And some of the new ones are still really funny. And on the blooper side of things, Super Mario Glitchy 4 is a popular YouTuber who has blooper videos to thank for all of his success and inspiration. He used to make them, and his videos have mutated into a more modern version of them, with more memes and editing techniques, and they still get a ton of views. So, blooper videos still technically exist, they're just not called blooper videos anymore. But in the end, these channels and videos just sit here, as a reminder of what YouTube was originally about, entertaining random people and yourself. Not for profit, not for clout, but and they need to be admired for that. These are truly wholesome, and if you disagree, well, you can just eat a load of Despite being one of the most popular websites on the internet, YouTube stands as the odd man out. When a website is up and running for well over a decade, they'll usually add new features throughout the years to keep people invested and keep them coming back. YouTube is the enigma in this case. YouTube has actively taken features away as the years have gone by. If they add a new feature, they're also likely to get rid of it just as fast. Listen, if any people from the future are watching this, how's it looking now? How bare bones is it? I bet it's just a video player at this point. The one feature I've missed for years was the ability to watch a creator's videos in their own YouTube channel page. That was so convenient, and I have no clue why they got rid of it. But I'm getting off topic at this point. There was one feature that has come and gone, and that was video responses. You see, around a decade ago, you had the ability to watch a video, and then make a video of yourself responding to the video and what you had to say on it. Sort of useless to a good chunk of people, most are just satisfied with making a comment. However, this one feature, for a while, would spawn one of the most obnoxious YouTube fads in the website's history. Reply girls. Now, I'm kind of cheating with this entry, because there really is no fossil to discover here. Almost all the Reply Girl channels have been killer queened off YouTube. There is almost no trace of them left, but there is still a small remnant of them. A couple of popular channels still have their videos of making fun of Reply Girls, and you can see the impact these had. Reaction videos have been a long criticized form of media on YouTube, basically taking someone else's content and reacting to it. It's been up for debate if these are even considered constructive use of someone's work. But Reply Girls were well below even this shit. These were the most low-effort, lowest common denominator videos anyone could possibly make. They make my editing skills look like a fucking Maxor video. It's just them staring into a camera and talking about the video they just watched. Now, this is kind of what the reaction feature was for, but Reply Girls abused the ever-loving shit out of it. They would reply to the most random stuff. The number of views, or the length, or the entire purpose of the video did not matter. They would reply to it. They swarmed YouTube with these low-effort videos for the sole purpose of views and making money. And there were tons of Reply Girls too, tons of them making these low-effort videos for the sake of profit. And almost all of them were met with disgust and vitriol, but some did get some semblance of a following. I imagine it has to do with their very entertaining, endearing, charismatic personality and their thought-provoking and interesting videos. For a while, there was a huge push by bigger YouTubers to get YouTube to do something about these videos because they were low-effort tier garbage that had no substance or value, and they flooded every single recommendation page. This was the most bottom-of-the-barrel entertainment you could put on YouTube. Say what you will about prank videos or 3am videos or any of those other fads that were big for a while, those at least required actors and some semblance of effort. There is no effort here. There is nothing of substance here. The entire reason these videos were made was to make money in the laziest way possible. Even if you were to click on the video to voice your disgust, they still got your view, and that was enough for them. Eventually, YouTube did do something about this, by changing how YouTube determines how videos are recommended. Instead of recommending videos with high view counts, they recommend videos by how many hours people have collectively watched them, so low-effort garbo like this was wiped out with ease. But, sadly, this also came at the sacrifice of animation channels who made their whole career off of short animation videos. Animating a 2-minute video by yourself takes months to make, and there was nothing they could really do about it. You know why Aaron Hansen stopped making animations and started sucking ass at video games? Well, you can blame Reply Girls for that. This was a fad on YouTube I and most others are glad died off. It wasn't entertaining, it wasn't fun for anyone except the ones making money off of it. And now YouTube as a whole is changed because of it. This is a fad nobody will miss. Oh, and what happened to all the Reply Girls, you may ask? Oh, that's easy. They ran to Twitch. Now, this last one might be a bit controversial because I'm going to be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I know Five Nights at Freddy's is still a very popular franchise, the games still sell a bunch, and it still has a huge, huge fan base. I'm well aware of that. But listen, I like to compare Five Nights at Freddy's success to Pokemon's. Strange comparison, I know, but let me explain myself. Pokemon, to this day, is an extremely popular franchise. The games sell millions and it is literally the most popular intellectual property on planet Earth. But for those who don't know or weren't born, when the first game released outside of Japan in 1998, a global event many have dubbed Pokemania happened. Oh yeah, Pokemon is still popular to this day, but back in 1998 and 1999, oh my god, you could not escape it. It was everywhere. You could not go a single day or night without hearing about something Pokemon related or seeing something Pokemon related advertised to you. I was still a drooling baby in 1999, and even I have vague memories of being showed some Pokemon product. Whether you cared about Pokemon or not, you were still hearing about it all the damn time. So yeah, Pokemon is still popular, but compared to that period of time, nothing else compares. And I also view Five Nights at Freddy's the same way, albeit in a more compact manner. Yeah, Five Nights is still popular today, but if you were regular on the internet around 2014 and 2015, just like Pokemon, you could not escape it. Every YouTuber was talking about it and playing it, every news site was talking about it, it was all over every social media platform. It was everywhere. Scott Cawthon, a simple man, had created a phenomenon and was making bank off of it, no doubt. But it just wasn't Scott who was making bank off of it. Of course, tons of other YouTubers saw the potential profit as well, and so they got right to the milking. Tons of channels started popping up dedicated to Five Nights for the sole purpose of getting that dosh from anyone remotely interested in the game. Now, of course, not all of these were just to mine money. Some had actual interest in the games and the lore, but a lot just wanted cash. So you got, of course, a ton of Let's Players playing the games, and then the theory videos, and then anything else you could possibly imagine. This happened every single time a new game came out, and they came out in pretty quick succession, so content was ripe for the picking. I remember the day Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came out. This was the peak of hype for the series, if you ask me. Every YouTuber was playing the game, trying to be the first one to beat it. I remember one YouTuber in particular, I can't remember his name though, for the life of me. He legit sounded out of breath, and like someone had a gun to his head. He was so nervous playing the game. He was rushing the videos out as fast as possible, trying to be the first one to beat it. It was crazy. But then, after a while, after all these YouTubers were mining the series for gold, the unthinkable happened. Popularity started to wane. This did not sit well with some YouTubers who had dedicated their entire channel to Five Nights at Freddy's. This was their life source. This was their way of life. And yes, it's true Five Nights at Freddy's is a whole franchise now. There are plenty of things to talk about, and some still have been able to thrive off of it to this day, like Dawko. Dawko is a well-known figure and is still quite popular. But I'm more impressed on how a Brit was able to be so interested in a series based off an American-themed Chuck E. Cheese knockoff and became famous because of it.
Silent beast. The great terror looms.
What's going on, guys? Dawko back again.
So, you can still make a living off of FNAF stuff. But why settle for 5 figures when you could be making 6? So a lot of them abandoned their channel because they weren't making the money they once were. There's a handful of channels that had this happen, but one in particular is the poster boy for this mass abandonment, that YouTuber being Smike. Once upon a time, Smike was a Skyrim YouTuber. He was Todd Howard's little man. He made videos on Skyrim, its lore, and tons of other things. He had garnered a small following because of this. He wasn't some big hit YouTuber, but he was good at doing Skyrim videos. But after a bit, Smike decided to take a break from the Skyrim videos and try something else for once. Now, what's this Five Nights at Furries game? Looks interesting. I'll take a look at it. Next thing you know, his channel blows up. So, Smike now has a new audience of people looking for FNAF content. And what can he do with this newfound fame? Why? Milk the shit out of it. And when I mean milk, I mean...
Stop it.
There was nothing left in the fucking cow when he was done with it. He made tons of theories and fact videos about basically every single FNAF character from whatever the newest game was. From the animatronics to the Easter eggs. He even had a top 10 facts video about, get this, the cupcake. Yes, the fucking cupcake from Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Smike here, and today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 facts about the cupcake in Five Nights at Freddy's.
You gotta be really reaching to make these kind of videos. Of course, his videos would also lead to some controversy. For example, when he made a Let's Play of the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, where he admitted he had never played a Five Nights at Freddy's game before.
Now I do have to admit something to you guys. I've never actually played Five Nights at Freddy's before. I know that my channel, you know, I do a lot of videos on this game, but I've never actually played it, to be honest. I never even installed the game.
Now, I know there's the whole ongoing argument, you don't need to play a game to be a fan of it, you can be sucked in by the lore and story and all that shit, but I personally feel that there is a certain element lost not playing the game, experiencing it for yourself. That being said, there's a difference between being a casual fan of something and then actively profiting off of it and its fanbase. He was making quite a chunk of change from these videos and hadn't even touched a single game from it. And then there was the fan art controversy. In some of his videos, he had grabbed random fan art from a couple places to put in his videos, but hadn't given proper credit to the artists. Now, remember, he was still making a shit ton of money off of these vids, so he was basically profiting off these artists' works without giving credit to them. The heat did eventually get to him from this, and he took down all the vids with stolen art and made a huge apology video, and crediting every artist he took from Jesus Christ! Is this a credits list or Christopher Judge's acceptance speech? And the last thing about Smike was his older fan base, the ones that subbed to him for Skyrim content. Of course, they were feeling a bit alienated and ignored for the ones that subbed him for Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. They wanted him to eventually start talking about Skyrim or Bethesda in general again. But most of these requests fell on deaf ears. The majority of his older fan base left because it became very clear Freddy's was where the money was at. But then, like I said earlier, the massive popularity of Five Nights started to wane. Smike's views started dwindling and he realized the kids were leaving him for greener pastures. So, he eventually tried tucking his head back under Todd Howard's arms, but it was too little too late. The kids took themselves away and his older fanbase he had alienated had left a while ago. Smike was abandoned by both of his audiences. And doing the only thing he could do, he made one video about Poppy's playtime, got a couple of views, and disappeared. His channel being left as a fossil when Five Nights at Freddy's was the talk of the town. Smike is a reminder to all YouTubers. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
I offer you a nice egg in this trying time.
Don't abandon an already established fan base for something else, because it may come back to bite you.
Was that the bite of 87?
The taste of internet ongoers is ever-changing, ever-expanding. Whatever you enjoy now could be seen as old and outdated in a matter of weeks. Just look at Morbius memes.
It's morbid time.
But just because tastes are changing all the time doesn't mean you can't enjoy something as long as you want. Nobody can take that away from you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my irrelevancy in 5 years to plan for. Have a good day and God bless. I'll see you all next time.